So this week, I wanted to share a funny story and talk about restorying, actually. So this is a moment-to-moment practice in the Soulistic journey. This is one where we are increasingly becoming aware of the stories we tell and therefore the realities we experience as a result. So last Saturday, I found myself with a scratchy throat. And of course, I immediately started to jump to conclusions like, oh, have I got COVID? What's going on? But I felt fine. I felt fine, apart from having a scratchy throat and a runny nose. And so I took lots of homeopathic remedies. I took some vitamin C. I slept. And I let the people know who were supposed to be coming up that I was feeling a bit rough. Of course, 2 days later, I feel fine. And I speak to many people who are experiencing the same symptoms, having the same experience as me. Now, do I think I caught a bit of a cold? Yes. Do I think that in the current conditions of a global pandemic, many of us have forgotten how to listen to our own inner wisdom and body barometer? Yes. Yes. And I fell foul of this. So to restory that, you can do that in a second. And it's to catch the story in action. So the story in action is that I can not only get sick, but I can catch COVID-19, and that anytime I feel ill, it's that, right? Which is simply not true. Yes, we could catch it, but equally it doesn't mean that every sniffle is that we're coming down with something serious. And I think this also reflects in our current story about health and dis-ease. We have been bred across many parts of the world to think that we are predisposed to dis-ease and that actually we are dependent on a modern medical system. Now, it's not to say that I'm not deeply, deeply grateful to modern medicine. I am. But I do think there's a dependency story there that needs to be transformed. And so much of our modern dis-eases, as we now know, stem from mental, emotional imbalance, from stress, from unhealthy, unbalanced lifestyles. So to restory that spark of fear, I simply took a moment, closed my eyes, imagined that story as a three-dimensional image. And for me, it was like a mass of tangled threads. And I just imagined I could suck all the energy out of that story until it disappeared like dust in my hand and I could literally blow it. And then in the absence of that story, I created another symbol, and this one was of a shining golden heart. Sounds cliche, but that's what came. And this to me represents full and balanced health. And so that's the story I choose to energize. So now whenever I catch myself with a little bit of a scratchy throat or a sniffle, I check myself and I go, yeah, you got up at 4 a.m. this morning. You're tired. Of course you are. Take some vitamin C, take a nap, and energize that golden heart. And literally it can be that simple. So I invite you to become aware of your stories of health and disease, of your fear-based story symbols. Suck the life out of them because they don't help us and they simply predetermine a reality that doesn't have to be true. So have fun with that. And of course, if you want to know more, then come and find us on the Beyond Human Stories website and find out more about restoring and the Soulistic journey.